This conference will now be recorded.
All right, as always, everything that we're going to be talking about today is for educational purposes only, and nothing is intended as any type of investment advice. So, PCG, I know a lot of people were a little bit worried going into Friday, but the prints that came in showed us that this thing had to get hammered. And if you go back into the comments, I know that there was a comment that was posted that I said cliff, but if you look before that, I literally used the word that it was going to be hammered, and that is exactly what happens. We closed at 1759 on Friday, and it opened up and hit lows this morning of pretty much about 775, which is just I would definitely say that that classifies as a stock being hammered. Now, coming into this 9 level, we're definitely seeing a bunch of covering coming in, but underneath that 9, you can see there is still a lot of new selling that's coming back. So really what it looks like it wants to do is there's certainly going to be profit taking once the market opens. And based off the selling that we've seen coming into it, I would expect a pretty drastic profit taking to come in. You can see that buying starting to come in above that 9 level. We have that print line 890, 50,000 shares. But afterwards, it still looks like we still have a little bit of room. So I would expect a nice little pull up before we end up coming back to hit that double bottom. Overall, once again, when the stock gets hit this much, you can see we're down 50% from Friday. A lot of the times what ends up happening is, like I said, we see that just very drastic movement once the market opens. So keep that in mind as you're looking for a trade. Now, other than that, it looks like that there are a lot of what's going on out there. Most volume is being taken by PCG. Now, something interesting in MU, if you look, since underneath this 35 level, there's been a few ask prints, but there's been a whole lot of selling. You can see the burst at 34.85, burst at 34.75, 34.80, 34.70. So overall, almost everything that I've seen coming into the MU this morning has been selling. So certainly going to be keeping this one on my list for this morning as well. And I don't know where my pen went. Oh, here we go. So MU, and then the only other thing that I really have too much interest in is MBOT. So MBOT, cheaper stock. One of the things that I was looking coming into it is that at that 4 level and right above that 4 is we did have some really nice buying. Now that worries me once the market opens and falling, just basically collapsing underneath that 4. But it still does have that buying there. So we're going to keep an eye on it. It is going to go on the side list because of that buying that we have at that 4 level. And we do understand that most of the time when we have that much buying coming into it, especially with these cheaper stocks, we end up kind of seeing them get killed afterwards. So certainly something that I'm going to be expecting. And then, best case scenario, after we get that pull up, we'll end up getting a trigger that comes back up. But you know what? It's on the side list for a reason. We're starting to see lots of selling coming into it, also having that much buying coming in at that 4. And other than that, guys, I don't see too much. I don't see too much else out there that really is giving us much. I know it's looking at GG too, but I'm just not a fan of it. So we have MBOT, nothing. We already spoke about that. GCI, absolutely nothing. Looks like a buyout or something like that. Now GG was the only other. We have 2.3 million shares. We're coming down to that 1050, but my biggest problem with it is it just does not move. And as we've came in, even though it's been this consolidated within its trading, nothing really great coming into the print. So you know what? I'm going to leave it off the list just because, like I said, there's better things for us to be looking at out there. ACB, 609,000 shares, nice little move, but just the way it's trading, better stuff for us to pay attention. That's about it. And then going over to the loser side of things, it's a little bleak. PCG, we've already spoken about. NEM, 312,000 shares, nice little trend it's got going on, but it usually, it's just, once again, it's just better stuff. When the market opens, we could look at every day. There's just going to be better things to look at. And MU, we've already spoken about. BBY need to come down after 2 days of big gains. BBY, I know it's on the list the other day, but based off, I haven't really been watching it, to be honest with you. So on Friday, I know, I did definitely saw that, we had that buying that came in, that came back over there, but nothing needs to come down. What are the prints? Because once it kind of pushed up to that 1550 level, it just went into consolidation. There's just nothing else that really happened there. So, I mean, nothing ever needs to come down. BBY could go to, 250. At this point, we saw, like I said, we saw buying that came in on Friday, but I don't see anything or have anything in my notes specifically that say that we need to see it end up coming back. Still expect drop in STZ. Now, STZ, absolutely. Now, 150, 150. Okay. Once again, look at this. Look at the pattern that we see coming into this thing right now. We have that gap fill. Okay. That really leaves us open underneath. But 150, 150, we know we had great selling that came into there. Okay. So the fact that it's pulling up from that great selling, even though it went under 151, it certainly needs, it certainly didn't go under enough to really give us, and show us that was the overall move. I mean, what was the low? The low coming into it, yeah, 150.37. So it moved over $1 towards the downside. So it did technically go under. I would have just expected a lot more, especially with the amount of range that this thing ends up trading. All right. Anything else out there that I missed? Apple just for fun. Oh, remember that 150 is very, very mixed, but we have a whole bunch of selling that's underneath it. So overall, I'm still expecting a move towards the downside. SQ falling down. Remember, SQ has, just in my opinion, has not pulled down as much as it should have from that 60 level. I'm still to the high percentage point looking for day trades towards the short side of things because I'm expecting a big down day within it. We had some buying at 154.25 Friday. 154.25, is that a major level? It's a minor, so it's not going to mean as much, but I'm certainly overall still expecting to downside. We'll see what happens when it comes up and, what happens with the open of this morning. Right now, things are it's very slow. There's not much volume going in. We have some trading that came in, but look at Apple. It's trading 1,000 shares every minute. Print lines at 152.29 that we can see that it keeps popping back up to. We're going to see how it opens, all right? And we'll make our decisions for the week as that happens. All right, guys. So EA is trending over the past week. I personally have not looked at EA once, so I unfortunately I don't have any opinion on it whatsoever. During class weeks, it's hard for me to look at new stocks. So the stories that I have are a little bit limited during, like I said, during those class ones. I love everyone today. All right, guys. So PCG certainly going to be the main focus of our mornings. I will talk to everyone in the chat and happy trading.